to the Coffee, Chaos, and Curriculum podcast. We are on episode 5 today. My name is Linda Bendall, and I'm here today with Ashley Barta and Rita Roberts. How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
I feel like I'm yelling.
No,
Hello.
it's going to be okay.
I'm Johnny Cash.
I'm waking up. I'm telling you, it's been
early.
a morning.
I got you guys out early. My gosh,
it's okay. The poultry got me up early.
Always. I'm so glad that we actually don't have a rooster. I don't know what I would do. I would probably be so annoyed with him.
They crow all day long. They don't crow just in the morning. It's all day, every day.
Oh. Yeah, my neighbors would hate me, honestly.
They just come under the window and then they crow. So if they bother this podcast, that's,
All right.
How many do you have now, Rita?
I have too many. Okay, I have too many roosters. They were the 4-H chicken to egg project. So we got about 50-50 hens and roosters, but we're getting like almost 12 eggs a day. We got little hens, like little hens that could. And so I think we have 6 roos, and some of them have just got to go. They just got to go.
How is that though? I thought you could only have one rooster with your flock. So is it a little chaotic?
It's a little chaotic. We have a little place where some of the hens are like, I am not going in that hen house with all those roosters. I want to go over here. So we got that box, and they self-sort. So that's kind of funny.
Well, that's nice.
I had a little hen named Abigail Adams, and she's bald. She's like bald.
Nice.
So we call her Abigail Adams because she's so dignified, but she walks around because the roosters have pulled her feathers out.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, she stays in her little box.
I actually learned that hens will do that too. Like if there's like a dominant hen, because like we don't have a rooster. So we've got a dominant hen who acts like a rooster. She's our butch hen here. She will pluck feathers out of our other hen.
Can we say that on our podcast?
I don't know.
Yeah.
She'll like,
I don't know.
So our master bedroom, like the bathroom, looks out to the chicken coop. And the other day my husband was in the bathroom looking out the window, and the chicken was just like this, like standing on the little perch. And he was like, what is that chicken doing? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, why does it look like it wants to fight me? I don't know. Maybe it does.
That's the Wonder Woman pose. It's the Wonder Woman pose.
But it's so funny. And like, of course, she's the only one that has all her feathers, so I know it's her. It's just ridiculous.
She's so bad. You know what though? One thing about having that many roos is like we don't have any predation. We don't have, knock on wood somewhere. We haven't had any losses due to falcons or hawks.
Oh, that's good.
There's just so many stinking roosters, but
that's actually usually the first ones to go at our house due to like the coyote issue. Like I lose a rooster all the time, and I think it's because they warn my chickens. But we've talked about this. Our geese are, I think, better protectors than our roos are. But we always get like the one and only roo that was like big guy on campus. He was the one that had to go because he wasn't nice. He would chase my daughter.
Yeah.
So I always end up with like derpy roosters, like Polish roosters that don't do anything but look funny.
I love them though. The one you had on the podcast that one day was so funny. He's just so cute.
And then like we have Sherman, and he's like a sultan. A sultan rooster. So like they have the feathers on the feet, and they kind of have a weird like comb, and he looks derpy, but he's got like one toenail missing, and his one foot's a little bit swollen. Like you can tell he's been through it. Like he's protecting his ladies.
Oh my gosh. And you guys do have like a coyote problem out there. So, I mean, you definitely need some roosters.
Yeah. As soon as the corn goes away, though, guys, it'll be fine. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's this Iowa corn. Iowa corn sweat, coyote issues.
Yep.
Causes lots of issues out here for us. It's pretty to look at. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
It is
almost
pretty.
10
It's
feet
so
tall
pretty.
in Iowa right now. Like,
That's
I need
amazing.
to take a picture for the podcast because
Yeah.
it's so tall. When you're out in our yard, it looks like we have a complete barrier around. We're like
baseball players coming out, and you know.
I know. Did you guys see that? Did you like actually watch the game?
I didn't watch the game.
Cool.
Sean watched the game. Yeah, Sean watched the
Didn't.
game. He said it was really good. So
I thought that was cool that they came out of the corn.
I haven't been watching anything but Court TV lately, so I can't say anything.
Oh my gosh. I know. Here we are. We're missing it. We're missing it right now, but it's okay.
We're missing it to,
I'll catch up.
to podcast.
They probably haven't
our
even started
besties.
yet. It's probably still, they're probably figuring it out for the day.
So my daughter is obsessed.
Is she?
My daughter's obsessed with forensics. Like, she was talking to her, like, her Sunday school teacher is a forensic anthropologist. So she's got like a good,
I love it.
Yeah. She's got a good mentor. And they were talking about something. So I don't know if it involves this case because she moved here and she mentioned something about a case she couldn't talk about. And it was similar, but Rosie's like, I could have it mixed up, Mom. Don't tell anybody.
I think I might have a book recommendation for her, actually.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's about forensics and bugs. So.
She loves forensic entomology. Like, seriously.
Yeah. It's a book about like the study of the forensic entomology. Oh my God.
Entomology.
Yeah. And just their role in solving murder cases. So she might enjoy that. I don't know. I enjoy it.
She really does. I whatever. Guys, I was gonna order the class online for her year, right?
Mm-hmm.
For forensics, but I looked at this schedule, and her high school class schedule this year is crowded. Like, it's really crowded. And I talked to her. We had a talk about, because we always have this pre-interview before the school year starts. I don't know what your guys' like plan is, but we try to do a pre-interview and then we do a post-interview. Like, how did it go? So the pre-interview is like, what do you want to learn this year? Like, what do you want to do? Because this is the trajectory, like, for your finishing. And she had like 2 tough sciences, and she's done all our labs, but we had to make some priorities because we had to think about her fatigue level,
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
We usually do so we sit down with the kids before the school year starts, and we'll basically go over the goals for the year. Like, since we unschool, it's a little bit different, but if they have projects that they worked on last year, it's like, okay, are we continuing to work with that? Are we moving on to something new? Is there new things that you want to learn? And then usually my husband and I will give input on the things that we want them to learn. So kind of like challenge them in new ways and move on to the next, stage, I guess you could say. But it's always so funny to me when people are like, oh, what grade are your kids in? And I'm like, oh, they're all over the place, really, because, they could be excelling in one subject and then, struggling in another. But yeah, we try to kind of hash all of that out right before the school year starts. And then probably about midway, if the kids don't come to me before then and say, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore, then we'll, reassess. But yeah, kind of the same thing.
What about you, Ashley?
What about you, Ashley?
Well,
no pressure.
No, actually, it's really funny because now that my daughter has a phone, we do a notes app, or the notes app that comes with your phone, and she shares a document with me, and she'll write all of the extras that she wants to do. Reverse tie-dye, poetry, maybe like a candle decorating, like a candle painting
I love
class,
that.
or
Yeah.
I make her do like the extras, because the core
Yeah.
subjects, obviously you just have, you don't,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And then I know how to add extra classes from like the local library or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of cross them out. And so she can add something that she sees in real time, and then I can keep looking at it. With my son, though, I just kind of look at what he likes, but then I have I don't know where I found it. It was probably in one of those printable packs that you get, way back when.
Yeah.
And it had like 5 goals. And I've just reprinted that sheet every year. And I'll put like OT, PT, speech on 3 of them. And then we'll talk to his team and say, well, his one goal is jumping 5 times in a row for the stamina, but engaging the core, whatever it may be. And then I'll
Right.
list activities that he would maybe like on that sheet. And then I'll pick like 2 or 3 other goals, spelling his name, coloring a full page in one sitting, whatever it may be. And then I can kind of flip back and look, because while I have one kiddo who is typical, and we don't unschool, but we don't classical either. We're very eclectic with her. With my son, even though it's special education, it is kind of like unschooling, because we are choosing his path. We're
Yeah.
guiding him, but we're choosing his path. And I think our listeners would actually probably enjoy listening to, like, Linda, how you do it, because I think a lot of people think, as the ex-teacher in me thinks, unschooling is not schooling. And I think
Yeah.
unschooling is the wrong word for it too, because you're still learning, you're still actively
Right.
engaging,
Yeah.
you're still following a curriculum, quote unquote.
Right.
You're doing all of those things. You might not pick out like a big box curriculum and follow it
Right.
word for word,
Right.
day for day, but you're,
Yeah, I think
it's
there is like a stigma
easier.
around just the term unschooling. A lot of people really think it's nothing. And I have really tried, to change that just in like my local groups, when people are like, "Oh, you unschool," and it's like, yeah, but like we're still schooling. Like, I'm not just like, hey, go do whatever. No, that would be awful. Because you know what, they wouldn't do anything. They would be bums. So trying to change that. I know a lot of people have kind of coined the term world schooling, and I think I would maybe use that more if we traveled a little bit more. But yeah, I think unschooling kind of fits just what we have going on. I'm very much follow the child. Where is their interest going? It's a little bit more work, I think, than getting a box curriculum sent to you, because now you have to find the resources. You
I
have to
agree.
say, oh, okay, well, I don't know anything about woodworking. How are we going to do that? Where am I going to find that? So then I have to find somebody local or find a class, or the library is a huge resource for us. So just kind of like navigating that aspect. We're going into our 9th year of unschooling, so I have a little bit more practice with it, but when we first started out, it was very much kind of like more Montessori. I stayed in that like little space and let the kids kind of just learn by having little activities around all the time. But now that my daughter's in her sophomore year, it's a little bit more challenging. I think we're kind of pivoting even into more rigor than we have previously. So it's been interesting for sure.
So, we've been talking about, like, off camera, we've been talking about our first days and like how we're getting ready for the year. And you know, I think that there's differences there too, because if you buy a box curriculum, it might be easy in the sense that you're buying it in one sitting, and then you're taking it home and you're looking at the books and you're pacing out your year and you're traditionally planning something. And then
Right.
you have, you know, the middle ground where it's like a la carte. So I've got this science and I've got this math, but
Yeah.
what am I going to do for language arts? And then what am I going to, I think I'm just going to combine language arts and history together. Like, and then I make my own curriculum for that, but I've gotten like 2 set curriculums for the other stuff. And then they have, you know, like unschooling. So how do you prepare for your year? Like, I know you say you have your meeting, but then do you have like a list of things that you need, or do you just kind of like go month to month, or need one?
It kind of depends. I think there are some like major. No, it doesn't. It does make sense because, like, well, how do you build off of nothing? You know, like you have to have something. And sometimes we do. We'll pull from, like, last year we used Apologia. You know, that was a huge resource for us, and I don't mind like pulling from curriculum. We use curriculum actually a lot, but I won't get a full box set, and I won't sit there and say you have to read this entire book and we have to do everything in this set of curriculum. I'm very much like, okay, well, what can you take from this? What are we seeking to learn, and how can we find it and then apply it to whatever our end goal is? So it's not that, I mean, gosh, I really should put in a picture of our downstairs and all the curriculum that we do have, because it is important to have resources on hand, because the kids are learning, and, you know, it kind of takes us a little bit of everywhere. So we got a little bit of everything down there. But like I said, we just don't sit and do those books all day. We're not doing workshops or worksheets all day. We're usually out. A lot of times, like, hands-on is really big for us. Going out, experiencing something, taking a class, that's a huge part of our unschooling. So,
do you use
a big misconception.
Computer-based classes too? I'm sorry. Do you use?
No, we do. Yeah. So, last year I was trying to supplement. So we did a little IXL. I'm actually not super impressed with that platform. I feel like a lot of the questions are repetitive, and it's not like teaching anything. Now, the kids really like Khan Academy. And it sounds silly, but they put they updated it a few years back, and they added like the Learning Storm, which was just like a goal for the kids to kind of hit. And I was actually surprised because it's nothing crazy, right? It's just like, oh, you did so much work, and then like, oh, you get like this cool little, animated show that it'll give you, and it's like, oh, you got 5 stars or whatever. And the kids loved it, and I was like, oh, okay. So I was really surprised by that. So every now and then, we supplement. We use more online all the time. We find YouTube channels. I mean, gosh, I don't know. There's stuff everywhere. Right now we're heavy on the CLEP studying. My daughter's CLEPing through high school, and a lot of that I think is very unheard of for a lot of people too. They're like, what do you mean? Like, you can CLEP your way through high school, like that's what? But we are, and we're using it as credits, and they're honors credits. And she's going to, graduate with her associate degree. And honestly, I think everybody should be doing that, but it's just me, So, I mean, because like, you're learning the rigorous material anyways. I think you can, a lot of the kids could probably handle it. And when you're in the public school setting, like my high school years were kind of wasted. Like, if any of you that watch this, I went to high school with, you would know that I did awful in high school, and I spent the majority of my time working. So like, I would do half days and then I would go to work. And when I was at school, I was just doing enough to get by. I wasn't taking it in. So if I would have A, applied myself, and then, B, had somebody kind of like pushing me to maybe take those honors classes, I think I would have got a lot farther.
But I was just talking to a friend about this because her daughter is just starting college this year, and they were in the public school. They did all the things, and she is, well, what's Presley gonna do for freshman year? And I was telling her about what we were going to do, and I said, but she also can dual enroll at the local community college. She could CLEP. She can. Our goal is to graduate with at least an associate's degree. And this friend of mine graduated. She's probably going to listen to this episode and be like, you talked about me. She graduated a year ahead, like not ahead of us. She still walked with us, but she was done and didn't go our senior year. And then we were talking about that, and we were like, gosh, I wish we could have dual enrolled when we were in high school. And we could. There was a local community college in my hometown, but you had to have a higher GPA. You had to have parents that could afford those extra classes. It wasn't offered mainstream to all of the high school students. And if it was, it really wasn't readily available or known. That was 20 years ago now too. So it's changed a lot, but I know I took classes my junior and senior year that were wasteful. I took advanced art. Not that those are wasteful classes, but I sat in a room and did my own thing for an hour.
Yeah.
Granted, it was creating and it was art, and we are very heavy in art in our house, and it's fantastic. And but if I could have used that time to take a college speaking class or a university studies course, like whatever it may have been,
right?
I think it would have been more useful for me, because I hated the garbage classes. You just have to take this class to fill a spot to get to this class. Like
so many credits.
Right. And it's like that. It's not that weird. If I'm bored or I'm not doing something fulfilling, it's just, I do it half-ass. Can I say that on our podcast? Like, you know what I mean? Like, unless I'm fully engaged or challenged, I'm not going to. So if you can apply that same thought process to your kids' education and challenge them, and they always say in the special education world, presume competence, right? Mm-hmm. And I hate that, but I also love it, because you should, but it's not just in the special education realm. You should presume competence with all children.
Yeah.
Presume that they can do more than what you think that they can do.
Oh, they can.
I think there's that like weird gray, like you're walking the curb kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like with the early kids, because they're like, well, kindergarten today is more like first grade. Well, yes and no. Like, are we challenging the kids? Are we pushing them too much? Like, but are we even challenging them in the right way? Forcing a 5-year-old to sit and attend and take a state test so they can read chapter books, that's pushing them in the wrong direction.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
If you're letting them explore their world and pick up a book and enjoy it, and then learn to read naturally because that's just what they're into, like that's presuming competence, and that's pushing them in the right direction. And I think, but let me tell you, all of our best intentions can go poof right in our face when we're homeschoolers too. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
Our first days are always slow. Like they're I gotta say that they're totally slow. Like we start like half days first because we're kind of classical eclectic too, because we do a lot of different things, but we kind of start slow. We start slow and then we build momentum. Like the first week is like half days. It's like, when I mean half days, it's like a couple hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And we get our calendars down and we get the days that we're going to have off, and we talk about the projects we're going to do. We just go slow, because I'm with you, Ashley. I don't believe you should push a kid, like push like a tiger mom, like totally. I hope I can say that here on our podcast. Like totally, because that's
I
for
just
you,
swore,
right?
so you're fine.
Yep.
I mean, if you
We're all
push
going
your
down
kid,
today.
push your kid academically, like you must get, an associate's because you can do it, because I think you should do this. This is why you should do it. I don't agree with that at all. I mean, like, there's some classes like in the classical curriculum, like rhetoric and composition and logic, right? And do they groan when I say, hey, we're gonna try to do logic? I try to make it fun for them. And they come back to me, my older adult kids have come back to me and said, thank you for doing that, because it's the only thing that got me through, X class in college. But honestly, it's not pushing them for my sake. It's like, okay, this is what you said you wanted to do, so this is why we're going to do this course of study now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wanted to do. But anyway,
that's a great point, Rita. That's a great point.
No, we struggle with math in our house. So I try to start with math for the first week, and not do any of the fun stuff.
It's a good idea.
I know it's like the opposite.
Yeah.
But then if we're just doing math, like it's only like, that half hour of practice, instruction, whatever, and then we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go outside and do reverse tie-dye or something like that. So it's like not a huge deal. And in my head, I'm thinking, we've got a week of math bumper in case stuff like implodes and then we miss math for a week at a time. I've built in that safety bumper so we still finish, we still get the credits. Because but that's where they say, teach to your child versus teaching to whatever you're doing. And I think it's I want you to show our listeners. I think we should take pictures of our learning spaces, because unschooling doesn't look like curriculum on shelves in my brain, like now I know.
And for the most part, it's not.
But you still
all my curriculum's on the floor right now.
Hey, it's okay. It's all right.
No, but can we talk about the implosion thing? Ashley, you mentioned this. Can we talk about buffering the implosion? We all know it happens, right? Kids get sick.
Oh yeah.
The AC goes out, or the heat. You have electrical power goes out. God forbid, somebody gets really sick. But come on, it's happened to all of us, right? It's gonna happen every single year. What do you guys do?
Cry in the corner.
For me, no,
I'm just kidding.
You're not allowed to cry. There's no crying in homeschooling.
There's no crying in baseball.
Speak for yourself, Rita. Speak for yourself. No.
I was just actually talking to a friend. Well, maybe it was you guys. I don't remember. Because this year we will have a toddler at home.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's weird to say. I've never homeschooled with a toddler, but when my other two were younger, they were toddlers together. So we've never homeschooled algebra with a 2-year-old running around.
Yeah.
Now I think this year for us will be the
new level opened.
Exactly. New level unlocked.
We'll be on standby, Ashley. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. So we kind of went through this stage with our youngest. And my piece of advice is to just let them sit at the table. let them be there.
Yeah.
You know, engage them as much as possible, you know. But, you know, I know your little one and he's going to be on the kitchen counter. But that's
eating a cucumber right out of the plastic.
Eating a cucumber, shaving it.
Eating a cucumber like a piece of corn.
He's getting his veggies in, though. I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He is so built. I mean, he's built different. And I knew when we had him, God was sending him to us to teach me a lesson of some sort. And I just wasn't sure what the universe was trying to tell me when we, you know, and he's built different. Our life is not the same as it was before Walker. We have the before Walker and we have the after Walker, and he was brought here to shake up our world, and I love it, and also it's exhausting. And when he listens to this podcast episode in 10 years and he's like, thanks mom, geez, like he will know every gray hair that he caused because that's just this kid.
For sure.
You know, I think it's just the third one. I think it's always the third one. I don't know, because our third one, he is crazy, but he's wicked smart, and like,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, like, he's got a little fire in his chest, you know, and I like that. It's a little spunk.
I love the spice. I love the wit. I love that he holds his own. You know, and when you have like my oldest, who is a fire of his own, you know, we've had pediatricians and neurologists ask us, well, how is he with his younger sibling? And sometimes I take offense to that because I'm like, what are you fishing for? Like, because he's 16 now, and there is a stigma with special needs kids when they hit that older mark. It's no longer cute. It's no longer like whatever. And I think they're alluding to like asking if he's harmful or tough or rude or mean or whatever it may be. Yeah. And if you watched those two interact, you know, when they say look at the siblings to how they treat their special needs, their sibling, you know, my daughter, she'll just like knock his hat off his head and walk by, and you know, some people are like, oh, how rude, but that's, you know, a normal sibling relationship. And then you look at like the youngest and the oldest, and Cash will just pick on Walker to no end. But Walker like stands there like a little bulldog, and he's just like, I'm not backing down. Like, that's my
totally
toy, you big jerk. You know, and then my oldest is like, that's been my Peppa Pig for 16 years. You can't have it. You know, like it's quite the dynamic, and it's so fun to sometimes just stand back and watch it without intervening, because, you know, in all intents and purposes, like those two are both nonverbal, non-speaking individuals. You know what I mean?
That is true.
So you have an almost 2-year-old and an almost 17-year-old interacting without words. It's the best miming silent film you're ever gonna see. Like,
oh my gosh,
they're gonna have their own language.
I love it. Exactly.
Walker, you know, it's like,
Our pediatrician actually asked not too long ago if he was talking yet. And I said, well, yeah, we have, you know, 5 or 6, you know, words, whatever. And this was 6 months ago. And I said, and I'm a little worried because I do have a nonverbal kiddo. Like, you always have that weird worry in the back of your mind. And she said, I worry. He's probably a lot like second language learners, and he's learning 2 different languages. And in fact, 3, because we're learning sign, we're learning how to use his AAC talker, because Walker will grab that thing and start pushing buttons and make a sentence.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not an appropriate sentence. It's jumble, but he's still learning
Right.
to make the words on the pad. And then he's interacting with us and speaking, the one word toddler, screams. The demands of the
I know you guys
toddlerhood.
have his talking pad. But do you guys use ASL? Are you using sign language at all?
We used sign when he was younger. So that has recently come back. Those of us that know me personally, when Cash went through a big regression, he lost a lot of those skills. So we had a lot of signs that we used, and then he quit using them. And just lately, we have gained them back. He said,
Cool.
"Help, please," the other day, just out of the blue. I hadn't seen him use those signs in years. So to use appropriate ASL, I think would be down the road because his motor control is just not there. But baby sign for things is definitely something we do. Because of his severe apraxia, and apraxia is just that it's just how you're making those noises, to, in layman terms, to speak, how your muscles are and your everything is, making them. That's the unscientific definition. Unprofessional.
Well, it was well said. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, I understood it.
Because of his apraxia, sometimes he'll just say a word, and you're like, "Wait, you know that word? Like, where did that come
Oh,
from?"
wow.
And then he'll never say it again.
Oh,
wow.
So he has the language, he just is not able to verbally say it. And so that's where, and I could have a whole episode on AAC use, because when we first got it, the science was, you give this to them, they'll never learn to talk, because now they have a device that talks for them, which is absolute garbage. And it's such a lie. And I wish I would never have heard that, because I would have bought into the device
sooner.
Sooner. But you give this child this device, and because they're little, you give them 5 words on the screen. Well, if you're teaching your child how to read or how to talk when they're toddlers, do you only say 5 words? No, we talk to them like normal human beings.
Right.
And so that's the big thing, when I say it, I'm like, I want every word available to him. Even if he can't navigate those pages, I want every word available to him. And now we don't make him use proper verbs, proper pronouns, proper whatevers, but he'll flip through the pages and he'll find exactly what he wants. It's so amazing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And that's,
I feel like we do need an episode on this, because I personally would like to learn more about what that's like. Just teaching him, and also what your day-to-day looks like. And, I think that would be really beneficial to a lot of our viewers, because I know there are a lot of homeschool families who have special needs, and,
Yeah, and I think a lot of people worry about homeschoolers with special needs kids at home, like people in authority. They think that we can't handle it for some reason, right? And I've heard things like, well, how can an unqualified person who, maybe feels like they didn't do the best they could in high school or whatever, like you described, Lena, how can they possibly teach their kids? And the truth of it is,
how can you?
It's messy, but the resourcing out there is there. It exists, and there's lots of people who've done it who can help you. And it's not any different than a teacher in an inclusive classroom with special needs kids, English language learners, who don't speak a word of English. But you have your individual kids, so you have the opportunity to spend more time with them, individualizing their education. And it's amazing the work you've done, Ashley, with your kiddos at home. Of course, you were a teacher in a special needs classroom and you have those degrees, but other moms, there are other caregivers are going to have the same kind of care, and their only regard is for their kid and the success of their kid.
To that, I think that this needs to be said, and I've said it a few other times in a different way, but as a past public school educator, I had basic degree, right? Like you come out of high school or college with your basic elementary education degree. Now, if you get extras, a reading credential, kindergarten endorsement, middle school endorsement, there's a few different endorsements. You could even minor in something. But if you're walking into that school with a basic teacher degree, right? That's like basic Google search. That's what I'm going to compare it to, or basic homeschool curriculum.
Yeah.
You don't have that toolbox yet. No one has tucked you under their wing to give you classroom management. No one has individualized creative ways to do that. You just have the book. You just have the teacher's manual. And as a homeschooler, that's what you are. You just have your teacher's manual. And until you take a class, read a book, get a mentor, or in our world, a team, PT, OT, speech. Some people have ABA, some people have naturopath, therapist in some shape. Yeah, like until you get that team, you still only have your teacher's manual.
Yeah.
So, or your basics, right? Like,
yeah.
And as a homeschooler, I think I have dived deeper into the needs of my own children, but the needs of other children more. I knew as a public school teacher about like Temple Grandin, but I never read any of her books. As a homeschooler, I've read every single one of her books.
My daughter loves her.
Yes, like, or done anything, else. So one Facebook episode or one Facebook post said something about music and special education. What did I do? I watched 5 or 6 YouTube videos, read 8 or 9 forums, and read a book.
You educated yourself on
I
educating your children?
I homeschooled myself.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's where, like they say, like homeschooling is like grandma's kitchen, where public school is like, a restaurant. Like you have the same dish at the end of the day, but yet grandma knew maybe to add Lori's seasoning salt versus just regular table salt. You know what I mean? Like it's the same salt, but it's just different.
Got a little flavor.
And it's custom made.
You got a little flavor.
Like
you got a little spice.
It's got love in there too.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's like we're in the 21st century, y'all. We can do this, right? We can Rosie the Riveter it. We can totally do this. We're military homeschoolers. We're military spouses. How many times have our spouses deployed and left us alone by ourselves with the kiddos? And you're telling us we can't do this? Come on.
But I think that's the other thing too, is like in my personal, with my homeschooler, my kids, I can do this. I have readily available resources. I just have to figure out how to find them. And then as my daytime job or my nighttime job, now that I'm homeschooling during the day and working, whatever it is.
Yeah.
People are like, why do you need an education consultant? Because of the day and age of AI, Google,
right.
All of the things. I can do this myself. Well, yeah, you have all of the resources in front of you, but do you know how to use them?
Right.
And I think that's anybody that wants to
homeschool. I think like a real a real support system, a real connection with somebody that has experience
Yeah.
is so valuable to have. Like you can't just rely on, you know, the internet. Not always, you
No.
know.
So
Well,
the
and that's what I was gonna say is like
mentor
a
Just a
relationship,
mentor, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
hugely important to me and my
I will
family.
never one of the first years I took, homeschooling serious, after the kids were like off the couch and they were reading and we were like, we need to do more
Mhm.
stuff. I set up a classroom in our spare bedroom, had the kidney bean table, like we were gonna learn. And we never went in there. And then the more we didn't go in the room, the more I felt like a failure because I had set this room up for the very first day of school and we were really cool and
Aw.
it was going to be beautiful and all of the things and then a friend of mine was like, "But what did you do today?" And I was like, "Well, we read, we did, this, we did this, we went to the zoo,
Yeah.
we did, X, Y, and Z." And she's like, "You did school. Stop
yeah,
worrying about what you didn't do. Stop worrying about your failure." And somebody else said it takes 3 years as a homeschooler
Yeah.
to really like figure it out. But then what do you do within those 3 years when you're figuring it out? Like I think that's the thing that people that are getting into this worry so much about. Like your kids are
Yeah.
still learning. You might not get the hang of it because you're still learning to ride a bike with training wheels. Sometimes you don't even get the training wheels, you just have to figure it out.
I
right.
think you said something
But
hugely important though, Ashley. You said the word that you took it seriously, right? You got to take it seriously before, you can't just sit there on the couch and stare at the bike. You got to get on it and start pedaling. And I
Right.
think
mhm,
when we first started, we felt like somebody had thrown us in the deep end of the pool because I did not want to homeschool. And unfortunately, I actually had to buy a like half circle table. You call it the kidney table. I didn't know I actually had a name. But I had to buy
I don't
that
know
because
if maybe that's
I
North
have
Dakota
I
thing.
have I have ADHDers, and so executive function is like a thing, right? And so
Hmm.
they had to have a lot of structure. So my homeschool space is going to look a lot different than everybody else's. But I found that they gravitated to that structured space because in their own rooms and in their own spaces, they were not structured. So they needed me to kind of structure a space for them. And so it became very structured. And like they knew what to
I love
expect
that.
when it came. And it was kind of like people would criticize me like, Rita, you have a school at home. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of do, but that's what my kids needed. But I had
Right.
already sent them to school. Okay. And I had already watched how the teachers had treated them. And we did all that. And their kind of structure where there was all these kids, you have twice exceptional kids, and they were getting lost in the sauce. And so we do it differently, but that's what works for us. But I had to actually get on the bike and start pedaling. I had to reach forward and understand what they needed, and I had to provide that for them. And you know, and it's going to look different for everybody. But I don't
I
understand the
really think
criticism though of people just like sitting back from an armchair and saying, "Oh, you can't do this," or
right.
you're a Christian, and so you can't do this because you're a Christian. You're hot housing them. They used to call it hot housing, where you would not expose them to real life and stuff. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no, we do
Yeah.
that, all the things. And I challenged them, as they got older, especially. It's like, what do you think about this? So our little space has been the place they still gravitate to, even as adults. They still come and they find where this is. It's quiet, and they can sit and do things, and we can talk. It's funny. It's so
That's so
funny how that
special.
works.
That's special.
I was gonna
I
say that's beautiful. Like it
it
just,
is beautiful. Like
because the classroom in my experience, and not as a teacher, but as a student, a classroom was never somewhere where I was comfortable. It wasn't somewhere where I was wanted. Like as a student, there was very few teachers that made me feel like I could just sit down and learn, speak my mind, any of
yeah.
those things. or that I would want to hang out, that I'm not in
Oh my
school.
gosh.
Like there was, and I think as a homeschooler, we don't crave, well, how do I say this? We do crave our children's relationship because we want to be around our children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are
100%.
still times, right? Like where we're going to lose our minds. Everybody goes through those things. But I think because we have learned to be around our kids all the time, that relationship is strengthened. So you can hang out and you can coexist and still like each other. Like that dynamic of having that safe space, whether you say it's structured or not, like it works for you guys, but it's also the basis of still being safe, comfortable, loved, all of the things. Did that? Sometimes I just talked and I did it. It made sense in my brain. And then
no. That's what I was trying to go for. Is like you try to create a space where it's safe and it can still get chaotic and you can still have disagreements and you can still, especially as they get older, it's like really fundamental differences in viewpoints and stuff come out when they're, we all have kids that are in their teens now. And that stuff is the meat. That's where it gets interesting. Like, it's fun when they're toddlers and you're sitting coloring together and they're learning to read. And my favorite is watching their eyes light up when they first get it, when they first learn how to sound out a word and they can read their own books. And that is so wonderful. That's awesome. I love that light bulb moment. But it's also when you're sitting in class, if a really hard class and we're doing rhetoric or logic and they disagree with me, like just totally disagree with me. And you know what? And they can bring the receipts. Dang it.
Yeah.
They can bring the receipts and say, Mom, I disagree with you because of this. That is where I know that they're using, what do they call it in teacher school? Higher order thinking.
Something a lot of people don't have these days.
Yes, that's true. Unfortunately,
oh my gosh.
Taxonomy.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Goodness.
Oh my gosh.
I did want to go back really quick and just kind of ping off of Ashley what you were talking about with having your support be like OT and be surrounded by, these different therapists that kind of help build that support system for your son. Because I think a lot of people are scared to homeschool because they don't feel like they have support. And I will say, like, when we started, we were the first ones to homeschool. Nobody that we knew homeschooled. We didn't have support. It really took some digging to kind of find that. And I think you really wrapped it up well when you said it takes about 3 years to kind of get in your groove and find your people and find people that will support what you're doing. I think that was a really well said. So I just want to hopefully encourage some of you that are at home thinking you can't do it because you don't have the support, that it is out there. And
it is. And I think some people in our situation, when you have to have those therapies, they think that they have to get them at the school.
Right.
Well, first of all, you can dual enroll, so you can get them at the school. Yes, you can. And you can still do homeschool. But a lot of therapy offices do private therapy and take a plethora of insurances, state insurance, TRICARE. I mean, and we know TRICARE is at the bottom of the barrel. But they take all of your insurances. And if I'm being perfectly honest, they do love homeschoolers because you can do therapy in the middle of the afternoon when they have time. So they have more time for you. There's just all sorts of really good nuggets that you can do when you homeschool and have those therapies. And when they know you like homework as a parent, it's great. So, it's just all of those things. So,
so have you guys started back to school yet or no? When are you starting? We're starting on Monday. That's our official, we're partially back. We're partially back. We're doing extracurriculars right now, but we're gonna start back on Monday, but it will be slow.
We started this week with extracurriculars, and normally we start next week as well. But this year, with our crazy last year, we decided we're not starting until after Labor Day. And that's, to me, I'm like, we've never started this late. So I'm panicking a little bit, but we are so heavily involved in a lot of summer activities. We didn't really get a summer break.
Right.
And so, and with our chaos of last year, which you all know, like it was emotionally exhausting. It was, it was just a lot. And so I just gave us permission as homeschoolers. That's when we're starting, and I am okay with it. And we'll probably go a little later in, the spring, or we might not take as much time off over Christmas as we have in the past. But our life changed, and I think that that's okay. So, it's that's so we're not starting for a while, but it's okay.
Hey, that's fine.
We'll start math next week.
That's the beautiful thing about homeschooling, right? Is you don't have to start right now. The public school kids here actually started the 3rd week of July, and I was so baffled. I'm like, why are they starting so early? So,
do they even have air conditioning in the school to start that early?
I don't think so. And it's been in the hundreds this past week. So they've been struggling. What about you, Rita? Have you guys started back yet?
No, we haven't started back yet because of the chaos. But I tell you what, we're gonna try to do a soft start like next week, next Monday, same as you. And I don't think we're going to start with math, Ashley, but we're gonna just get our schedules together and see how she feels about it. And hopefully, we used to start, because in Virginia we didn't start until after Labor Day every year, and they go until June. And so we followed the school schedule because all their friends would get off on holidays. We wanted to sync that. Like even the private schools wouldn't start until after Labor Day. So we would sync their schedules, and we lived for so long in Virginia because of his military service. And so for years we did that. So this is actually early for us. So I'm not too worried about it. She worked hard all summer, and then she's been doing workups for cardiology and neurology all year. Her POTS possibly. So
yeah, she's got a lot going on too.
She's got a lot going on. So we don't know how much extracurriculars we're going to be able to handle this year. And a lot is going to depend on her, what her fatigue level looks like. So we're just playing it by ear and doing things slow. And I think we're gonna start some of our core classes though, logic, geography, and one of our hard sciences. She's done all her labs already, so we don't have to worry about anything.
Oh, that's good.
That. Yeah. So, right. Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed, and probably take a shorter Christmas break this year, like you mentioned, to try to make up for some of that. But I think we're actually we have holdover classes from last year, and I give us permission to do those holdover classes, so that she can master the curriculum instead of just, okay,
well,
time to move on to the next grade because, that was last year. Some of the stuff that we didn't cover is important. So I want to go back and pick that up.
Yeah.
But we had some chaos last year too that interrupted our school year, unfortunately. Just like you, Ashley.
We moved.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year was rough for you guys. This year's going to be better. It's going to be better.
It's going to be better.
It's better.
You know, and thank God we homeschooled through all of that, or else
Yeah.
it would have been a disaster. So, and I think that's what people need to remember is like real life happens still. I mean, we all still have real life. We just are able to survive it a little easier, maybe survive the chaos a little easier. I don't know.
Well,
take the time you need. I think that is important, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's always so fun to like visit with you guys. With my crazy baby.
Oh my gosh.
At least we don't have one walking in the background, like, you know, like the ticking clock like we did the last episode.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
it's okay. Goodness. It's okay. Yeah. I enjoy seeing all the kids. It's nice.
Yeah. We wouldn't do this if we didn't enjoy kids. But I really enjoy talking to y'all and catching up and learning about your first days and what that's going to look like this year, and just being accepting of all the craziness we know is going to happen. And just hanging on for dear life here.
Give yourself grace, you know?
Yeah. Get some grace, get a friend, do it together at the little coffee.
Little caffeine.
A little caffeine. A lot of caffeine.
You know, a lot of caffeine.
Oh
exactly. That's our secret sauce, is the caffeine sauce.
I hope all our viewers have a wonderful first day. I wonder when they're going to start. Maybe they'll tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would love to know.
I would love to know what
let
us know.
Does.
Yeah.
Universal
what kind of methods you guys use? Do you use a method? You know, what's your homeschool look like? Tell us about it. We want to know.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. All wrapped into
we want to get to know our viewers too.
What's your favorite tool? Like, do you have a favorite homeschool tool? Is it your printer? Like, or is it your, you know, your talking device? Is it a pair of scissors? Like, is it a map? Is it a whiteboard? Is it YouTube? Is it organic chemistry tutor? Because that's one of my favorites.
No way. Extra pajama pants, maybe, you know.
Maybe, yeah. Oh my gosh.
No,
it's hard to pick. There's a lot of good ones.
And we're going crazy over here. We got the mic. It's a good send-off.
He just wants to tell us about your favorites, homeschool, you know, resource.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't believe we just did episode 5.
I know.
Episode 6 will be after we start school, so we'll all look a little bit more tired. We'll all have a little bit more experience under our belt.
Yeah.
Bags under our eyes and hopefully a lot more coffee.
Exactly. And all the co-ops have started and we'll all be sick. It'll be great.
Oh my gosh. Don't you put that on me, Ashley.
Yeah, don't. Ashley, no. I don't want to be sick.
It's too early.
It's
too early.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, that's awesome. Well, I guess I can conclude this wonderful episode of Visiting with Miss Rita Roberts, Miss Linda Bendall, and me, myself, and I, Ashley Barta. Look forward to... We're actually on all the platforms now, right, guys? We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. We're all on the thing.
What more could you want? If there is a platform that you would like to see us on, maybe comment that below.
True. Yes. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Where does this come
from? And we're getting the sewing stuff out. All right. You guys have a great day. Thanks for listening.
Bye.